All right. Check 1 2. Hello. I'm doing it right on the dot. It's exactly 1 p.m. as of recording this. And I am feeling like I'm a little bit pressed for time. As if accidentally, it feels like that's been the theme for this week, which is kind of interesting. And I'll talk more about that shortly. But hey, welcome back, guys. Welcome to another episode. Technically, I guess episode this is the third episode, but we're calling it episode 2 of Tech is Art. And this might be the last time, if everything goes my way, this might be the last time where there's no intro stinger thing happening, or there's no outro. I'm hoping I can have music and stuff established by this time next week. And if not, then definitely the following week. May this month, May, we're going to have everything sorted out. I'm certain of, to include hopefully maybe a logo. And I don't know how I want to do this about the logo. I'm kind of stuck. Maybe I'm going to turn to audience participation and ask for your guys' help on this. If you are interested in that, will you guys let me know if you're interested in helping me with my logo? Like I'll present to you guys a few different options, or at least two, and maybe I'll do a vote. I'll put the poll up on YouTube, as well as maybe like Twitter, and who else? Maybe Instagram. Instagram only gives you like for 24 hours. I'm not sure yet. No, actually, I think they updated something where you could do a poll on a post. I'll figure it out. But if you're interested and you guys want to help me decide, I'll run a poll and I'll just combine all the tallies all together. So technically, I guess that means you can vote 3 times if you're on each platform. But I will add up all the tallies and then maybe go from there. I don't know yet. I'm stuck. I'm stuck on something. It's kind of frustrating about it, but what can you do? Okay. I guess before we go over our topic for the week, it didn't go the way I want it, and we'll go over that too. But I guess before even any or all of that, house cleanup. I guess what do I normally do? Coffee. Today's coffee is this is an iced lavender. It says iced grande lavender oat milk latte from Starbucks. So that is my drink of choice today. I was craving lavender, and I don't have any more lavender syrup in my house. Otherwise, I would have made it at home. But that's our coffee for today. And I think that's it. Well, guys, we are still moving along smoothly, fluently. Even if there's delays along the way, which I will explain in just a moment. But I will say, I think I've narrowed down my my production setup for this environment, like how this layout looks if you're watching this on YouTube. I have efficiently, here, I'm going to switch camera over here. Hi, look at that. Once again, we are also accompanied by my executive producer, Kika. Hello, baby. Her little ear went, oh, I love you. She's sitting in the chair overseeing production today. But if you guys are watching on YouTube, you see that right there. I have taken the cushions off of my couch and I put them there. And what I didn't cover, I don't think I covered it in my studio, beginner studio video this week. But up here on top of the cushions, I've added some blankets to really block out the light. So really, what's interesting is all that lighting right there, because you can see the shadows casted. That's all coming from the ring light that's right in front of me. And for whatever reason, the iPhone camera here is kind of like overexposing everything, which I know that's kind of like Apple's thing with their software. But it is overexposed. And this is probably more true to, and I went switching back to my Sony, this is more true to what is actually happening here. I know what I forgot to do because I kind of started right off the bat. I got to put do not disturb on, so that way I don't get bothered for the next amount of time. Okay. So this has been a fun week over at TRN. as I'm abbreviating it, the Randy Nexus. I only put out, I say only, I'm proud. I'm proud of this, by the way. I've only put out to date right now 3 videos this week, and this will be the 4th video, and this will go out today. I'm confident of. And which is weird. So I'm missing 2 days worth of content I thought I was going to be able to knock out. I thought. But it happens. And none of you guys seem to really care if I miss a day or two, which is neat. If you guys are like new to this with me, I can see how a lot of it might be, there might be a lot of indifference that's happening. Something's bothering me about my setup. I'm gonna break, not character, but I'm gonna go quiet for just a second, and I need to go fix something with my masking out of the outside light behind the camera. I will be right back because it's bothering me. I think I'm actually gonna have an edit this time. I'm gonna cut this part out. I'll be right back. I'll for you it's gonna be a jump cut. I'll be right back. Hang on. All right, I'm back, and it is what it is. Actually, we can roll into that topic right now. So the first video I put out this week had to do with like a behind the scenes tour of how my studio is set up. And the reason why I wanted to do that is there's a lot of like at home YouTube studios, like tours or even tutorials that I've seen, but it's always like the polished one. It's always the like, look at all this cool stuff I have, which, don't get me wrong, I plan to do the same eventually. But I didn't really see like beginners, like just starting, and not the kind where the guy still has like a nice little, because I did see this one where someone's like, it's like a small little area in his it's a small little area in his room or his office or something, and he's like, here's how I maximize my space, to be efficient with my space and all that. Like, that was cool. But what I'm saying is I didn't see like the improvisation. I didn't see the rawness of setting up, because what you guys are seeing is this final element here, and the core of this concept came from a lot of compliments I was getting, which thank you all, by the way, for those compliments. About everyone's like, man, they say like the production looks so good, clean and crisp and professional, at least in the visual department. Maybe not the content itself, but you guys were like just giving me flowers, and I really appreciate that. And what you don't see is all the Scotch tape off the frame about how I'm making it all work. I got literal couch cushions that I take off my couch every time I sit up to record, to put up there, as I do back behind the camera. And I even had to step away right now to fix it because some of the pillows fell. And I'm like, oh, and the light was in my eyes. I don't even know if it's showing up on the video element of it, the difference, maybe. But I feel better now. And we're doing it live. We're doing it raw. We're figuring it out. And I'm showing you the takeaway is that like I'm improvising with what I have around the house, around my basement, that I can use to mask it up. And really all I really needed is a working camera, a good camera, dare I say, a good light, at least one that's properly being utilized like this. And I have some accent lights behind me and some textures back there. That's it. Let the content drive us forward, and then the visual element can be what it is. So I started off this week with that video in mind. I was like, I'm going to do this on Saturday last week. I was like, I'm going to film this on Monday and get it out. And I did. And I knew Tuesday was going to be the keynote, the iPad Apple keynote. So I knew I was going to block out a day just for that, because I wanted to see what was going to happen with the new M4 chip, the at the time rumored M4 chip. And I actually have like notes on my iPad of like topic ideas for all these categories to do with tech, art, or money, and sometimes even a fourth element of all three combined. And so I tried to plan my week a little bit loosely about, what can the theme be? And I wanted the theme this week to be about art and the beauty of art, leaning into the tech is art part of it. I wanted to talk about it, starting with the art of my studio. Then I thought Tuesday I would do a recap of the keynote, but in a way that I'm interested in the performance element of these new M4 chips. Not so much art, but what it can do for art was what I was aiming for with that one. And then I had these other ideas, and life kind of, on the back end here, I got really busy scheduling. It's a schedule conflict, right? My purpose of this channel, this show existing, is to work around my personal life schedule with my family, with my son, with my wife. And it just, this week, after the normal hours I would have had time to do this, I was busy. And it is what it is. And I'm not sorry about that. I don't apologize for that part. I felt like I needed to apologize about my last video, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I don't apologize about like having to put my literal life in front of the content I want to make. Because I knew I will come around to making it. The topics I want to cover will still be made. It will be filmed because they're not time sensitive most of the time. Again, alluding to what I'm about to talk about. But I'll just roll it over to next week. The things I want to talk about, they're still passions of mine, whether it's today, yesterday, or tomorrow. Still going to talk about it. So I made an executive decision to kind of wait and not stress about it, because if I stress about it, historically, with other channels of the past, if I stressed about it, the content ain't going to get made, because I'm not going to put myself in a stressful environment. That's not the purpose of all this. So I didn't stress. I just waited. And then I made a last minute change to my schedule, and I kind of broke a little internal rule I made for myself. And as of now, the latest video I put out is called John Turnus, Tim Cook's Greatest Achievement. And, I could have filmed it, then have it edited and upload it and be done within like 2 hours from hit recording to click upload. And I decided, this is where I kind of broke my rule. I decided to wait. I decided to take my time with that video. Something about it, there was a bit of a passion about what I was wanting to showcase visually, artistically. And what could have been a 2-hour project turned into an all-day project. And then I had to decide, like, do I wait and post it? Do I wait and post it the following day, which would be today as of recording this? Or do I just post it then and there, late at night? I think like 2 o'clock in the morning, my time. And I decided to just post it because I'm not big enough of a content creator. I don't have subscribers like that or views like that to establish like a set schedule, like 8 o'clock in the morning, guys, or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, guys. Like that's your my takeaway from this week that I'm learning is that you guys don't really care. Just make the content good. At least I want to make. Like I won't ship crap. Steve Jobs said that once. We don't ship junk, and that's me. I'm not going to deliver junk. I didn't end up making the other videos I had planned for this week because I knew of my time restraints, and I wasn't going to compromise on the quality of my product. I used to say this a lot. It's something that's been with me for over a decade now, like maybe like close to 13 years or so. Care about the quality of your product. No matter what you do, no matter what you make or present or whatever that case is, or even how you even execute the plan of it. Care about the quality of your product. If you don't care about the quality of your product, why should they? Why should any of you care? But I'm what I'm doing right now, what I'm appreciating about the early days of this channel and this show is I get an opportunity to prove to you guys what I'm worth. I get an opportunity to earn your trust about what you can expect when you click on one of my videos. And I actually like that. I like earning your respect. I like earning your trust and the confidence that you know that I'm going to deliver every time. So that way, if there will be, because there will be times, unfortunately, I hate to say it, there will be times where I might go even a week or so where I can't upload just because scheduling. And you're okay with that because you know that when I do upload and I will get you the content, it's going to be good. It's something I can stand behind. Every video I've put out so far, I can confidently, 100% stand behind that content because I care about the quality of my product. And that's just who I am. And you guys seem to resonate well. Like, oh my God, the genuine feedback I'm getting back on, I think, every video I post in some way, shape, or form is more than I was ever expecting. It's more than I've ever gotten on like my main artist channel. It's more I've ever gotten maybe even on Twitter or something. And not that I'm looking for that, but the fact that I'm getting it unsolicited. You guys are giving me positive feedback about what you're liking. I hear you. I see you. And I thank you. It makes me feel like I'm doing something right, that this wasn't just all in my head. Because I kind of felt like this could be bigger than me. I want it to be about us. Again, this is our nexus. This is our connecting link to these central, most important points. And it looks like something's resonating. So that's great. And even as the show continues to age and grow, and I will fine tune maybe my production element of things, of at least the operations of it. That doesn't negate the earlier work that I stand behind, the quality of the product. As such, my very first video, Tech is Art and Raw Connected by It, I don't even think I had the cushions up or anything like that yet. And I found that, and I still stand behind that one. But I think that was like the introduction video. So if I actually talk about the very first video, my very first video is the TikTok man. And I didn't know that was going to be my covering, my first video, but it is. And I filmed that one right on the spot. I don't even think these lights were on, or if they were, they're not the colors they were. I don't remember. I know something was off, like visual. I was like, it's still good. It was a longer video, and I stand behind it. I stand behind that one. Or right now, my most viewed video is the Stop Attacking Reviewers for Bad Products video, the Marquez video. That one's doing amazing numbers, and that was on the spot. What I'm noticing is these on the spot videos that I'm making are soliciting the strongest like reactions and feedback of like, wow, this is great. So my John Ternus video, Apple's alleged next CEO, as of right now, is on track to being the fastest growing video I've put out to date. And I've uploaded it maybe 8 hours ago. I published it 8 hours ago, I believe. And already it's the numbers, it's the analytics are telling me it's number 2 of 10 of engagement, which is crazy. It's on track to being my fastest growing video, next to the Marquez video and next to the TikTok ban video, I believe. So there's that, which is interesting. So I can't predict it. I can't predict algorithms. I can't predict how something's going to do because I just want to make the content. If I had to pick like what's my favorite video, I don't know. Maybe right now my favorite video could be the AI hardware stuff that I'm not vibing about. It could be maybe the M4 chip video, and they're just in the middle. So I can't tell you what's going to be good or not, which is cool because I don't care. I just want to make the content, get it out there. What will be, will be. So, all right. What else? Oh, I unified I have continuity between my videos now. I created a little thumbnail border so that way my content can kind of stand out amongst the sea of everybody else's content on YouTube. And if you see it, it's a Randy Nexus video, and that's like the point. I'm trying to unify things and make it a little bit easier to find the content, or if you want to click on it. Because I mean, I don't know if you guys are here for me. I don't know if you're here for the subject matter. I do know, reading from the analytics, that most of you are who are watching these videos are not subscribed, which is weird. But also, it makes sense because my views surpass the subscriber count. So, I mean, there's that. But if you're not subscribed, that also tells me you don't know who I am. And that's kind of cool too, that I'm a new face to the game, even though I've technically been around for a long time. I like that. I like that I'm fresh. I'm a fresh face to the space, and that's okay. That's cool. I always approach a video with the intent of being able to deliver value to a bigger picture of the subject. Like, I want there to be a bigger takeaway for something. So this week I did 3 videos, and the takeaway, I always want there to be a bigger takeaway than the actual subject itself. So when I did a YouTubers or a YouTube beginners studio tour for 2024, I wanted to show you that you can make anything work. That you just like execute the plan and just do it. Just do it. Don't sit on it. Don't do what I did. I could have had this channel launched maybe at least a year ago, and I just sat. Now, to be fair, I mean, like, I was a new brand new newborn child, new father. That's the priority. But if I really worked hard at it, I could have had this probably even before my son was born. So the moral of the story is, like, you don't need to wait until you have the perfect setup or the perfect equipment, because there's more than just the camera, the mic, and then the equipment of, like, the computer to film all this on. It's I got lighting, I got somewhat of intentionality with the set design, and I got cushions up on my windows. There's more that goes into it. I got a plan. I know what I want to cover. So, like, I always try to approach everything I do with a takeaway, a bigger message than the actual subject. Let the video be an example of the bigger takeaway. So the example is my studio, but the takeaway is that it was just random stuff around the house I threw together to give the presentation of what it looks like. And I have intention with it. Like, okay, and now here's the content. Here's how I set up for the content, and now here's the content. When I did the new iPads hint at, like, something bigger for the M4 chip, this was the big takeaway is it's never just about the hardware. And software makes or breaks something. iPhone is the most known product in the world, iPhone, partly because of the software and its ease of use of navigating the interface. It would not be the same. It could have been another BlackBerry. It could have been one of those Nokia window phones or something. You know what I mean? Like, software matters. The hardware is only as good as it is if the software is utilizing it, which is like that asterisk for the iPad. And why the takeaway from that video is I'm hopeful for iPad because of the software next month, because they put the strongest, best chip for AI in this iPad that runs iPad OS. That's not optimized for anything AI. Yet. So there's a kernel of hope in that video. That's the takeaway. And then Apple's next CEO, man, like that one was more, that was a little bit more of that one's a passion project. I'm not going to lie. That was a passion project. I find the business element of Apple so interesting because there's only one Apple and a million of ripoffs that are trying to be like Apple, but there's only one Apple. So what happens internally, especially at the highest level, the CEO? That's a big deal. Steve Jobs is the most prolific, innovator, and that word used to be used so loosely. But Steve Jobs, as a leader, was an innovator. He saw something. It's like the Metachlorians, episode 1, Anakin. It's like he can see things before it happens. Steve Jobs had a high Metachlorian count. That's a good one, Randy. Write that down. And I'm old enough. I'm an old soul here, but I'm also like physically old. I'm old enough to remember vibrantly the Apple enterprise for what it was under Steve's rule. And I was like, man, what a loss when he died. I didn't know anything about Tim Cook like that. But man, Tim Cook has been my favorite CEO of Apple. And it's all timing, right? Everything, just like anything else in this world. It's all about timing. Tim Cook, no one better. There could have not been anyone better. And I'm not even talking about from an evaluation standpoint of like $1 trillion company. Like, no. I'm talking like just the vibrancy of these products. Look at me, I'm doing my Johnny Ive. When looking at all the products in their existence, though, no one was able to articulate a clearer vision than doing the opposite of what Steve Jobs was doing. Tim is everything Steve Jobs wasn't. To include old. That's so... Oh my God. Sorry. And that's what Apple needed. And that's what we needed as consumers, customers, And as someone who loves design aesthetics, there's some questionable moves that had happened throughout the decade, but they can't all be winners, Not every iMac that Steve Jobs delivered was the right one, if you catch my drift. But to who's going to replace Tim Cook? That blows my mind. One, because I'm an investor in the company. I don't own many single company stocks. I tend to do broad index funds. But I do own Apple, and I have, I believe the technical term is a crap load of money in Apple. So the leadership of Apple is very important to me financially, very important to me. But after seeing the breaking news, well, it felt like breaking news, but everybody was talking about John Ternus on everything. So after doing some research on him, the more I realized what he was responsible for over the last, 5-ish years, the more I was like, oh, I like this guy. Because everything that I wanted to see from a design point of view and a utility point of view came from him. I love what the iPad has become. Software can use some work, but maybe not even for me because I'm a Mac OS guy. I always planned on using the two. So I do. I have my iPad, I have my Mac. And I'm happy because all the visual components that you guys see outside of the video, like thumbnails, cover art, even if you're aware of my music side of things, I think all that comes from the iPad. And if not the iPad, then there's touch-ups like on the iPhone I do. But I use the iPad. I use the Apple Pencil for fine-tuning things that you'll never even notice. But that's the point. Because like music, and why I love music so much, is because it's all subconscious. You're not supposed to notice it. Because if you notice it, that means something's wrong. Something's off. Maybe something's too loud. Same thing. If you notice there's this big old, red circle right at the top left of my photo on something, and the theme of it isn't, nothing's right about it, it's going to be wrong, right? So I focus on the details. I very much focus on the details you will never see. See, even this podcast, I focus on so much that we will never talk about. But that's okay, because that's the art in the tech that I'm using. It's all connecting. It's all a theme. It's all one big thing. So there's that. So anyway, I was looking at the analytics, and I see that you guys, most of you guys aren't subscribed, so you probably don't understand maybe 100% of this business model that I'm doing. So I just kind of like want to recap just a little bit. Quick. My videos that I upload throughout the week, like there's a bigger picture in all those videos. There's a greater takeaway in all those videos. When I do these podcasts, the Tech is Art podcasts, this is more introspective. This is more relaxed. This is more raw, minus the cut that I will do in this episode to, just kill out the dead air of me fixing the pillows behind the camera. Besides that, like, this is it. All this stuttering, I did right there. All the uhs and and like, this is as if you and I were in a room together and it's a one-way conversation. We're just talking, but only one person's listening. Like, this is just meant to be more relaxed, and we recap everything. And I bring that up because the last podcast, the episode one did amazing numbers, and I don't know why. All I said was I was just going deeper into AI, and what's the views on that one? Almost 600 views. I'd be honest, never thought I'd see 600 views. I thought a successful video for me at this stage is if I was lucky enough to break 100. And now it's like every video does at least 100. I already won. That's the success right there. I'm done. I'm content. I'm happy. The numbers are consistent. So we're having a dialogue, even if you're just interested in what I have to say, even if you just have me on in the background. I'm good. I made it. It's successful. It's cool. I got the subscriber count growing too, but like, just the fact that it's not 1 or 3 views. I'm like, this is cool. I don't take any of that for granted. I don't take any of you or this for granted. I'm lucky to do this. That's why I'm so excited about it and doing all these different formats. Speaking of formats, I didn't, because I was so busy, I didn't get to edit any of my videos to shorts and upload them. I'll probably work on that over the weekend and get that uploaded. So if you are following me on Instagram or Twitter, the shorts will be up hopefully soon. A lot of time in the day, right? Like, a lot of time in the day to figure out how you want to use your 24 hours. And it's a balancing act. Work on the shorts, work on the music, work on my music with my album I'm writing, spend time with my family. That one's priority number 1. Research the topics I'm interested in. I'm always reading something. I'm always researching something because I'm just always curious. And because of that curiosity, I'm always like walking away with some new information. That's really cool. And for the longest time, I just keep it to myself. And now I'm just expressing it, whether it's in a podcast like this or an edited video. It's just expressing this cool stuff I found out. Like, I really didn't know much about John Ternus until this week. I knew who he was. I didn't know his last name. I didn't know he was with Apple for so long. If you would have told me, gun to head, I would have said Jeff Williams, the current COO of Apple, would have been the next CEO, because that's traditionally how it kind of works in a corporate structure. But Apple's not traditional. And I like that. Keeps everybody on their toes, even themselves. So I hope you guys actually liked that video, by the way, the next CEO of Apple video, because I did a lot of fun little stuff in that one. I had video overlays, sometimes with audio, sometimes with just it doing something while I'm narrating. And then at the very end, I don't know if anybody caught the Easter egg, but at the very end of my video, after the where the outro's at, I put in Craig Federighi catching the iPad, and just because I thought it was cool. It was so cool. I wanted to show it again because I'm just having fun with it, So I really like that video. I don't expect it to do great numbers, even though it's on track. It is the fastest watched video right now. I don't expect it to be the best, but I don't care because I liked it. That was fun to me. I'm glad I took all day to edit that video instead of just crank it out. Not every video needs that type of attention, but because I knew I had all these like B-roll things in my head, or like there was a certain structure when I was showcasing, Craig being funny or something. Like I knew I needed to take my time. I didn't want to rush it, because the first edit of that video that was about to be exported was just, still images of podcasts or keynotes or interviews, and then that was it. And it felt boring. I didn't like it. I was like, I wouldn't want to watch that again. Like this one, I can go back and watch it again because it's just there's humor in there. Yeah. I don't know if next week will be just me, or I'm working on trying to get somebody to participate in the conversation with me. So we'll see how that plays out. Somebody reached out to me on Twitter, and they were like, well, the short version, the takeaway is that they were like, can I give you suggestions or ideas or what I want you to talk about? I was like, yeah, of course. Sure. I'll write it down. And if it's something that's like something I'm really interested in, and I didn't think about it, I'll do it right there on the spot. If not, like, yeah, I'll write it down. And same thing with these podcasts. Ooh, my voice is getting dry. Started shaking. Same thing with these podcasts. If you guys want me to like take an unedited video like this and long form and do a deep dive on something that I haven't covered yet, or that you want me to expand on, whether it's the M4 chip, whether it's Apple leadership, whether it's MagSafe, whether it's AI pins or the ban on TikTok, or it's something, whatever, whether it's other YouTube creators like Marquez, like if there's something you want me to like really deep dive on, let me know. Sure. I'm open for ideas, and we can talk about it. Doesn't mean I'll always do it, but I'll definitely listen to the suggestion of it. So, yeah, there's that. There's that for this week. I think everything is going to be okay. I'm still feeling good. Like overall, and maybe because it's still fresh. It's not even a month in, but I have more than enough topics. What I don't have is time all the time. But that's life, right? Doesn't mean I'm not going to do it, though. As long as I don't stress myself out about it, we're going to keep doing this. So I'll leave you guys with this. Video topics, we just talked about that right now. So there's that. You can reach out to me on Twitter or wherever. But if you want me to talk about something, just say it. Just say like, hey, I saw you talked about this, but can you go further into that? I want to understand more about that. My son's moving right now. I'm gonna wrap it up because he's moving. Interesting. Yeah, I might have to go tend to him. Anywho, if there's something I need to expand on, I will. Logos or icons or whatever for like my branding here. And if you guys are interested in me running a poll or something, also let me know, and we'll probably make that happen. I am almost done with the music for the channel. Intro, outro, stinger. That one I don't need feedback on. That one I'm in my element. Anything music wise, I'm always in my element. I'm pretty good at like at least articulating what I want to do musically. So that one I'm almost done. Hopefully it's completely done by next week. If I don't have all that going next week, it's because I haven't finished like maybe animations and or with a logo. So there it is. There it is. Okay. We'll call it here. I tried really hard not to drink my coffee, even though I want to, because I'm tired of slurping and it getting picked up on the mic. I hear it in posts. I'm like, wah. I don't like it. But next week we will go over some other topics. I'm purposely trying to branch away from other things sometimes, just to give you variety of the things I want to talk about. And I know not every video is going to be like the hit. Not every video can be the reviewers and bad products video, and that's fine. But just looking at my notes here right now really quickly, there's a lot of things I want to cover about like art, design, aesthetics that I haven't talked about that I planned on recording this week. So I'll do it next week. And I want to dive into some more things that have to do with investments and financials. And it's not always about like tech companies or like Apple or anything like that. It's bigger than that. It could be like platforms and things like Netflix or something. There's a lot of different subjects I want to talk about. I feel like I talked about AI for almost 2 weeks now in some way, shape, or form. And I just want to like pause. Not to not talk about it. I will continue, but I want to take a break on that so I can go over these other ideas. Because I have a feeling I'm going to be talking about AI after WWDC. That's just what it is. I have that feeling. So before all that happens, I don't want to get burnt out on that word. I don't want to get burnt out on that category because it's interesting space. But there's other cool things to talk about. So there's that. Okay. That's it for this week, guys. Thank you. Thank you for hanging there with me. Thank you for checking out the content. Thank you for, just overall being on this ride with me. Every time I think I have something figured out, something kind of changes. And maybe I'll continue doing a little bit more edited videos that take a little bit longer if I like the topic enough. Maybe I'll get more shorts out soon. I don't know. It's free flowing, right? Just like art. It's all like free flowing. I'm just doing what feels right at the moment. So there's that. I'll see you guys back here next week. You guys have a good weekend, and we'll talk about all things beautiful about tech, because tech is art and we're all connected by it. You notice how I slid in that outro right there so smoothly? I feel like that's like the thing. All right. Take care. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.